Glocker Realty and Insurance on Facebook, Glocker Realty and Insurance on YouTube, and also Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate on Facebook.
Awesome.
I just got a notification that I'm live. I can see it on my phone.
Check it out.
And we're just waiting for some people to join us, but in the meantime, we're just going to start talking. And today we had some excitement before the show.
We did.
Yeah. Not in a good way.
Matt, you were pulling your hair out over there.
I was pulling my hair out.
I was a little worried.
I was worried
The
too.
show would not go on today.
Well, no, I would have just shot it on my cell phone. I would have just stood here and just leaned my elbows on this table and just shot you guys on my cell phone. Because we're doing a show today.
Whether you like
it or not, we're doing a show. So I'm listening on the soundboard right now.
How we sound?
The sounds clear on the soundboard. So if people want to let us know what they're hearing, seeing, etc., etc., you want to put your microphone up.
Oh, yes, I want to.
Yeah, do that
right.
so that they can hear you.
If you haven't noticed, we have two guests with us.
Two
today.
guests. This is a
First
cast at
time.
Glocker first.
Oh, really?
Two guests
Oh,
at
wow,
once.
two for the price of one.
Wow,
Yeah.
yeah. Not to cheapen ourselves
Yeah,
out.
that's true. That doesn't sound good.
We have the ladies from Boyertown Museum of Historic Vehicles. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Sure, you go first.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kendra Cook. I'm the director at the museum.
I'm Autumn Jackson, and I am the curatorial assistant at the museum.
Great.
Excellent.
And
We are,
I am Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate.
and I am Jeff Frederick at Glocker Real Estate. that's our phony voice.
Hi, I'm Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate. Please call me for all of your residential and commercial
trying to sell us
real
something.
estate needs.
You just made a perfect commercial right there.
Archive it.
Then go over to Boyertown Museum of Historic Vehicles. See these two lovely
What's
ladies.
overdoing? Why are you not a
I don't
voiceover guy?
know. I did get called up to call some kind of t-ball game over the summertime, but it's been so long since I played. I never played baseball other than sandlot baseball, and I'd say something wrong. I would just say something. I don't know that game well enough to call it on the air.
Yeah, but you could be a commercial.
Yeah.
Maybe a
Do the
color
color.
commentary.
Yeah.
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 But
Do the
I would
color.
need somebody. I would need somebody who had the knowledge of baseball. I could be the color man to
Kendra has
their
the knowledge of baseball. She's a
God.
huge
Do you?
baseball fan.
Big
Get
baseball?
angry.
what
I
with
didn't
baseball.
do that. Yeah.
Yes, on the little league.
That's a hustle.
Come on, kid, get it together. She's like grizzled. Yes.
My mic's not on.
What's that?
My mic's not on.
Your mic's not on.
Yeah. Tell me if this is true.
It appears to be. I can see it on the. I can see it on the soundboard. I can actually see it getting activity on the
It's plugged
soundboard.
in.
It's plugged in. I don't know.
I mean, who needs me anyway?
Just talk louder.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm literally seeing it getting activity on the soundboard. So I don't know.
I'm on Facebook now. Check it.
Okay.
Whoa.
How does the sound otherwise? How do the rest of us sound to people that are listening? Is it clear?
Sounds pretty good.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. I
Yeah.
could hear that.
Now that's got to be annoying for the people.
All right. So
watching. Well, they can't hear
We're
it.
like in a
What's
time
that?
loop.
I said it's got to be annoying, but they can't hear it anyway. So.
Oh, I don't know what to do, Jeff. Let me see if I
It's an old
can.
mic,
What's that?
but it's coming through. So
I can see activity every time you're talking. I can see the activity there.
there a
So
button
let me
that needs to be pushed?
see. Okay. Hold on.
I think we got to figure it out, folks.
All right. Now go ahead and start talking, Jeff.
Hello, Matt.
All right. Now people should be able to hear you.
Okay. All right. The
If-
show can go on now then.
Yes, the show can go on.
Yes, the
I can
blocker.
I can keep trying to pull things out of the fire all night, man. This is I mean, listen, at the end of the day, this is one of the things you run into. This is live entertainment, right?
Right.
It's like
That's
going to
right.
see a band or a play, and sometimes things go a
That's
little
what people look
wonky.
forward
Right.
seeing the mistake.
Listen, I have people on my other show that purely tune in just to watch us make all kinds of technology mistakes and have technology failures. There's like a whole subgroup of watchers just for that. They don't care what the hell I'm talking about.
Just waiting for the mistake. That's
All right. So everybody should be able to hear Jeff. What it was I didn't have your tracks armed on the Pro
that
Tools.
sounds very professional.
I just armed your tracks. So now you're
That sounds
live.
dangerous a little
I
bit.
armed your
Wow,
microphone.
Yeah.
You're
Now become the
you're
Glocker
on.
really. Jeff's armed.
Well, we always-
So we've got the ladies. We've got the ladies from the historic Museum of Vehicles. You guys brought a whole ton of stuff
Yes.
to show us and
We
talk
did.
to us about.
Just decorate.
So where do you want?
Decorations,
Where do you
yeah.
want to start? Like start at the beginning.
I think that's a good idea. I think give everybody, people who don't know about the museum, give them a little background and tell them what they can expect when they do go to the museum. Because I would hope that everybody would go check out
They
the
better.
museum.
We hope so.
We hope so,
We
yeah.
hope to convince them to do so if they
Yeah.
haven't yet.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Kendra.
Yeah, so the museum has been around for some time. Technically, it started in 1965. And it started in a different building, which we now call Warwick Street. So it's over across from the Hooks. That's where we started. And it was started by Paul and Erminie Hafer. And Paul, at the time, was the president of the Boyertown Auto Body Works, which was a huge company right here in Boyertown, built truck bodies. And he had this collection of, at the time, road vehicles that were built in southeastern Pennsylvania, especially Berks County. And in any event, the collection grew. He turned his collection into a nonprofit museum. And today we are now at 85 South Walnut Street. So still in one of the old Boyertown Auto Body Works factory buildings, but a few blocks from that original location. And we have, I think, about 90 vehicles
Wow.
on display.
Wow, that's crazy.
And when I say vehicles, I'm talking about carriages, wagons, cars, trucks, bicycles, motorcycles. So,
Anything, really.
yeah, anything that went on the road.
Roadside
we-
architecture, even.
Now, why did you highlight road vehicles when you were talking about that?
Because sometimes people are like,
Collection.
oh, you've got trains, or you've got.
Oh,
No, we don't.
okay, I
We
gotcha.
just have things that go on the road.
We don't have an airplane in there.
No airplanes or boats or anything like that. So stuff that was on the road, and I would say about 90% of those vehicles were built in Pennsylvania. So
Cool.
that
Yeah.
is also
Very
our
cool.
focus.
Yeah.
It's also a museum of Pennsylvania's history too.
Nice. That's something good to know before you go into the museum. Although it might state it in there.
I mean,
For
I think
you.
that's something that makes our museum unique amongst other car museums. Number one, like Kendra said, we're housed in the old Auto Body Works factory building.
Yeah, it's
You
cool.
just can't get that at other auto museums. And then second to that everything was made right here in our backyard in Pennsylvania. So like even if you come in, you might not recognize the make or the model because some of them are obscure.
Very weird.
Very odd. But you'll recognize where it was made. If you are from Pennsylvania, you'll be like, oh, okay, we know where that is.
Yeah.
So I think those are two things that make our museum really unique in the area.
Right.
Yeah.
I did get the slideshow up.
Oh, cool.
So
Great.
that's like right above your heads.
Great.
And there's some pictures of everything. So there's an aerial picture of the museum. Where are you guys located? If people
Yeah,
want to
that's-
come and find you,
that's
how
good.
are they gonna find you?
So we're at 85 South Walnut Street. We have a nice, large parking lot that's like catty corner from us. If you go down 562 South and you pass Izzy's and there's 3rd Street, you can go up 3rd Street and into our parking lot there. But there's that, locals may remember the old Getty gas station there on the
Yeah.
corner.
Right.
That is part of the museum now and has our
It's like
Yeah,
a
I-
display, right?
Yeah.
I see some
Yeah.
cars in
Yeah.
there when I drive by.
Yep.
It's always cool to look at.
That's where our mechanics do the work on the cars, which is really nice because they used to do it before we had that building in the museum, and that's not good. You know,
Yeah.
things
No.
get fumey and
Oh my gosh.
yeah. So they move them down there to that little building. But that parking lot on the back of that gas station is ours, so we got lots of great free parking, and then we're catty corner from there.
Yeah.
And we have a secondary lot too, which has
We do.
a cool feature.
Yeah, so we have electric vehicle charging
Okay.
in our secondary parking lot, Tesla chargers.
Yeah.
So we have a couple for electric vehicles that are not Tesla, and then we have a couple Tesla chargers as well. So I would encourage anybody that has an electric vehicle in the area you're driving through, charge your vehicle, stop it and see us, take a tour of the museum. In the time that your car charges, you would have seen almost our whole entire museum,
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
which
great.
is kind of cool. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
And you know, that's ever growing, so.
Right.
I'm sure someone listening has an electric car.
So I see the museum is open Monday through Saturday, 9:30 to 4.
Yes.
Yeah,
And-
and typically we were before COVID upended everyone's everything.
Yeah, everything is the word.
We were open 7 days a week before that. We're just for right now we're not open Sundays. It just gives us an extra day to
Clean.
sort of clean up and everything.
Sure.
And
You deserve that.
yeah, but we're open for
Everybody
normal.
deserves a day off.
That's right.
That's
we're
right.
open for normal, walk-in visitors, 9:30 a.m. to 4.
Yep.
And the admission is $10 for adults and $9 for seniors and free for children 15 and under.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very inexpensive trip to see a
Yeah, it is.
lot of really cool stuff. I mean,
It really
Made in
is.
PA.
yeah.
Yeah.
What did you say? 90% of it was made in Pennsylvania?
Pretty
Yes,
much. Yeah,
I'd
we have
say
a
about
few,
90.
We have a few examples that don't fit. And a lot of the reason we have those examples that don't fit the Pennsylvania rule is because we haven't been able to locate a good Pennsylvania example yet. Like we know it's out there, we just haven't found one yet. Or it's like an important part of just the whole story of road transportation. Like we have a Model T,
Okay.
Yeah.
which wasn't built in Pennsylvania, but
You have to have one of those.
All right.
Sure.
You have
That's
that
like
in
an
mind.
hello.
important
Yeah, it's
step in our
iconic.
whole history.
Yeah.
So we do have one of those. Mhm.
And let me throw a question to you.
Uh-huh.
When was the Model T first introduced? Like, where you actually purchase it?
I think
1911?
it was. I think it was a little earlier than that,
9.
something like that.
I have this discussion with my son all the time
But
for some
it
reason. And I
wasn't-
throw out, I could just ask my phone, but I just throw out dates, and I think I hit close.
Do you
Well,
know
it-
the answer to this now
I
that
don't.
you
No,
asked
I
the
ask
question?
questions I don't know answers.
Oh, okay.
Well, then,
Somebody's going to have to
wasn't-
Google it for
It
us.
was not.
Yeah.
It was not cheap right
No.
away. It was out for I think 2 or 3 years before it became inexpensive.
Yeah,
And that's
Right.
when it really took off.
sure.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, and real quick, going back like to people visiting and things like that, we do have our Jeremiah Swinehart Carriage Factory open every day. The museum's open. That's open as well. It's attached to our building, and that's really where it all started for us in 1872. So when you go in there, you're going to see all original forges. You're going to see a machine shop that's period correct, and you're going to see carriages, buggies, and things that were built right there in the late 1800s, pre-COVID, and hopefully by next summer, quite frankly, we're able to do live blacksmithing again. We had live blacksmithing every Saturday from 10 to 2, and again, that's on an original forge. So another thing that's
And
a
that's
little
always
unique.
fun to watch. I mean,
Oh my God,
yeah.
it's amazing.
Heating
Our
up metal,
blacksmiths are great.
They're cool.
It's great.
bending it, and
Yeah,
heating
it's
it up.
awesome.
Yeah, always
Yeah.
fun. Sparks flying.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just wild.
I feel like a big kid when I watch stuff like
Yeah,
that.
seriously, and the kids
Yeah.
love it.
Kids love it.
And
I
especially
love
because
it.
some of them don't even know what blacksmithing is. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, or they're like, "Oh, I watched Forged in Fire."
Yeah,
On
right.
the
Yeah.
History Channel, which I love. And I said, "That's exactly what this is." So it's kind of cool. I just wanted to point that out. That we have those kind of things as well.
Yeah.
too.
I'm going to have to take my son. My son's studying auto mechanics and welding. So
Yeah,
that would be
he
like
needs
the
to see it.
perfect
Oh my
marriage
God,
for that kind of
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, we got to bring him in there.
We'd love to show them around.
Yeah. We'll have to come up. I know that they were there when they were younger. My parents took the kids there to the museum, but we haven't been back recently, so it's worth a trip.
And that might have been the old location.
It might have been.
yeah.
So Sam Fiorani
Yes.
Hope I'm saying your name right.
Yeah.
Sam.
Sam, we know Sam. Hi, Sam.
Sam's
Sam.
saying 1908 for
Yeah.
the Model
Okay.
T.
Okay.
He is the one that would know.
He's a board member. Hi, Sam. Thank you.
And then I have
Thank
a
you,
picture
Sam.
up here in the slideshow. It looks like an old picture, and you guys said the carriage works started in 1870.
72.
72? Okay. And there was military vehicles that were made here in Boyertown, right? What were they making? Like trucks and tanks and stuff?
Yeah, so during World War II, like every industry, really, manufacturing, they had to totally convert to military production for World War II. So that's why you won't find civilian cars made from like 42 to
Yep.
45 because they all had to
Right.
build.
They
for
were
the
all
military.
Right.
So Boyertown Auto Body Works was no different. They did the same thing. And they built 900 Marine Corps ambulances here in Boyertown. We have one of those on display.
It's awesome.
It is. It's really cool. And then they also built about 2,500 trailers for the military during World War II. And they had all different purposes. They built, some were like radio communications, some were machine shops, some were, kind of like doctor or dental units.
Okay,
Even.
yeah.
And we just recently were able to get one for the museum. We found one.
A trailer.
Yes.
It's awesome. It's so neat.
Where did you
We,
find it at?
It was out on the West Coast.
Really?
Just
Yeah.
like where our ambulance was.
Yeah.
Right.
When it was found. So
I
everything
guess
that
a
was
lot of this
built-
stuff there, sorry to cut you off, but I guess a lot of these vehicles are found out west because the weather's better.
Yeah, and it holds
right?
up there.
Yeah, it
Well,
holds up
that
better,
is
right?
helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not as wet.
Not as
Sure.
wet and
Snow and
rainy,
everything.
and the road salts and everything else, right? That kind of ruins
The road
these.
salts have to kill.
Kill
Oh,
it.
yeah, they do.
They do. Well,
They
and
do.
we sent a lot of our stuff we sent all of our stuff to the Pacific Theater, meaning
Yeah.
we did not send anything overseas. So that would further
Or to Europe.
To Europe,
Yeah.
yeah, excuse me. So that would also explain why there's a lot of things on the West Coast, considering we sent it that direction.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
And probably what's most likely is that the two pieces we have, the ambulance and the trailer, they probably never made it over.
Okay.
Because at the end of the war, a lot of that stuff just got dumped into the ocean.
into the ocean.
It was cheaper to just come back to the United States and make more than it was to ship,
Just ship it
all
back.
that
Right.
if they needed it.
Right.
So
It's crazy.
It is.
we're lucky
crazy.
to have found one. So it's not on display yet. It needs a little TLC. It's in pretty good shape, but it needs a little
Right.
bit of work. But it hopefully in 2021 sometime we're gonna have it on
Now,
display.
you
Yeah.
said before that you have your mechanics at the old Getty shop, right? So do your mechanics and do all that restoration, or do you have to ship some of that out to other places?
There's very little like restoration that we do. We don't really repaint or
Yeah.
do anything like that.
Okay.
Sometimes we do work on getting things running again, but not everything. Some things we can't do in house,
Right.
but we just don't have the facilities to do all of it. But we have a core of volunteer mechanics and volunteer detailers,
Yeah.
and they keep the stuff clean and running. And
So you don't
it's a big job.
you don't even send it out to get restored. You rather show it in the condition that you found
Oh,
it.
For the most
absolutely.
part,
Cleaned
yeah.
up, but
Yep.
but
Okay.
We like to show people what it actually would have looked like.
Yeah.
Instead of like painted some fancy color,
Okay.
or whatever.
it does take away the history of it once
does.
you do that.
Right.
It does.
Right.
Yeah. I like it.
I was just curious because, like, sometimes you see stuff that was old that somebody else painted or did something to. So you kind of have to undo what somebody else
Right.
did in order to get it
Yeah.
back to its
Yeah,
original
absolutely.
condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was
Very
thinking
true.
like along those lines
Sure.
too. But generally speaking, you guys get them to where they're show worthy, and if you can get them to run, you get them into running condition if you
Oh,
can.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool.
I think while we're concentrating on the museum right now,
Yeah.
maybe you show us some of these items that you brought with you. Show and tell is always fun for all.
Yeah. Well, this is stuff, we have a lot of display cases in the museum, and obviously we didn't really think we could bring a car and fit it in this room. So we had to like. But
You
also
did the next best thing, though. You brought 4 cars in and fit in this thing.
sometimes the smaller stuff, we don't want it to get overlooked, and it's really cool too. Some of it.
Sure. I mean, we have a bunch of, okay, so we have some models here, some model car vehicles here. We have a Studebaker, we have a pickup.
Chevy.
Yeah.
Station wagon.
We have the, what is this thing called?
It's a Chevy's.
I mean,
I forget what it's
A
called.
Woody.
It's a Woody
It's
is
a
what it
Woody.
is. That's
Yeah.
right. And we have a Woody in the museum. Just
Okay.
saying. We have a Town and Country in the museum.
It says 1948 Woody.
There you go. And then we have this. So this is a decanter.
From
and
Michter's.
Yes, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Schaefer's. Okay, you guys know what that is. Okay, that's cool. So that's from up in Schaefer's Town. So we have a case full of decanters, automobile decanters, and then
Michter's is cool too, because obviously it's Pennsylvania. So
Yeah.
it's cool to us. This is supposed to be a Fleetwood. It was like a special edition Michter's decanter. It's supposed to be a Fleetwood body. Fleetwood, of course, means that's Fleetwood, PA, and Fleetwood, PA had a company called the Fleetwood Metal Body Company, and they did car bodies and like luxury stuff.
High-end.
So in a way, it's like comparable to the Body Works, although we were of course doing like trucks and like working vehicles, utility things. But it's the same kind of concept where Fleetwood and Boyertown would bring in a chassis. Any company, Boyertown did trucks for Dodge and on Chevys, on Fords, anything, and Fleetwood would do the same, Packard, Cadillac, whatever, and they would just do the body work, or they call that the coach work sometimes too.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
yeah.
We have some real Fleetwood cars in the museum as well.
that are bigger than
And
this.
parts of the Fleetwood factory are still standing there in
Yes.
Fleetwood.
Yeah.
Some of their buildings are still there. Yeah.
I think they have a marker now, a historic marker,
Yeah,
right?
they just got a historic marker. Was that 2 years ago?
Yeah.
3 years
Yeah.
ago. We actually went to that ceremony. We took one of our Fleetwood cars. We have a 1913 SGV, which was built in Reading, but it has a Fleetwood body, so that's like really cool. Like that's
Yeah.
really local. And
Yeah, yeah.
Super
kind of
local.
like in our sweet spot, really. And we took that
Yeah.
up there for their unveiling, and it was neat.
It
Neat to
is.
see it right in
So
front
do
of the
you,
factory.
you will take your cars out of the museum for certain events and stuff
We've
like
done
that?
that sometimes.
Yep.
Mhm. Yep. We,
Boyertown events?
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
done Boyertown stuff. We were doing the Philly Auto Show for, oh my gosh, maybe
My son's birthday?
Many years.
8. Well, maybe what time?
Well, you know what? That's actually a kind of a good question, because somebody was asking that.
Okay.
You guys in the past had events, I guess prior to COVID.
Yes.
People could have birthday parties or
Yeah.
receptions or other
Yep.
things going on up there.
Yeah, we have rented out the space for private events like that. Right now, we're just not really taking any right now because
Yeah.
the numbers.
Right.
It's funny, like our walk-in numbers are not too bad. Like we don't really have to worry about that as far as capacity goes. But when they talk about events, they lessen it because they're
Yeah.
assuming you're getting talking close quarters. You're probably eating and
Yeah.
drinking,
Right.
and so it narrows that down. So
Yeah, absolutely.
hopefully we'll get back to that soon.
Yeah.
Well,
that was
they
fun.
started on.
Hey, Matt, you wanna
they
play with
started
these
unveiling
later?
one of the vaccines.
After
so
the show, you
Yeah,
want to
they
play
did.
with
What's
the
that?
cars? You want to play with the cars after the show?
Race down the
I
hallway over there.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to move the.
I'm taking the Woody. It's got some weight behind it.
That Michter's decanter is probably pretty heavy too.
It is, yes.
I don't know how good it rolls though.
So what else you got over there? I see some like
Well,
hood
hood
ornament.
I'll talk about the hood ornaments.
Yeah.
Kendra can talk about some of the other things. We have a couple of hood ornaments here. This is a Plymouth Mayflower. So this is for a Plymouth vehicle. This is the Mayflower hood ornament here.
Okay.
And then we have, which one is
That's
this
the
one?
Packard.
This is
That's
the Packard.
Packard. Yeah, for
so,
sure.
we do have a case of hood ornaments.
Okay.
And these are just the small.
And those are original, real deals. Like that's not a reproduction, right? Those are those the real
these
thing?
are original. We have
Okay.
I think we have a repro or two in there. And then we have like the Pep Boys ones.
Yeah, like some Pep Boys
which are,
repros.
like,
Okay.
aftermarket things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which are
Most
cool.
are original.
Okay.
And then, yeah, if you want to, these are really cool.
We have a
some spark
whole
plugs.
case of spark plugs.
Nice.
Still in their original
Look,
packaging.
Autolite.
How long
Yeah.
has Autolite been around? Jeez.
And that one, Bowers.
So this is,
That's a Reading company.
yeah, this is Reading, Bowers Battery and Spark Plug Company.
Yeah, we've
So, I'm telling you, it's like art. These boxes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
no,
seriously really
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Colorful.
yeah.
It's a really colorful case, and we explained like what the spark plug does and how it works. And
Right.
this is a cover of a comic, and the artwork here was done by a Berks County artist, actually, Jack Keller. His name's down there, and his son Rick lets us display. So we have some of these covers. And actually, that's where these models came from, too, because he collected these model cars. So we got a case with the model
Nice.
cars and then some of his artwork. And
Yeah.
here, I'll let you do because this is...
So we have a bunch of fans. So, back in the day, to advertise, you would have a fan. You'd make fans for marketing purposes for
Right.
the ladies. Because, we just constantly need to be fanned
Yes.
off.
The vapors,
Gripping our pearls and just need to be fanned at all moments.
The delicate flowers.
That's right. You can tell that Kendra and I are delicate
Yes,
flowers.
that's exactly how people describe her and I.
I see that. I see that.
It comes loud and clear.
Okay, where was I? So, let me fan myself off. Okay, so this one here is this is for a company in Hellertown, Pennsylvania. So, and honestly, it is cool. The fans in the case, they're Pennsylvania companies, and this really was truly a marketing and advertising thing years
I think
back,
we have one for Firestone tires, too. Like,
which
Okay.
is neat.
yeah, it's
Which
like,
is really
okay,
neat.
Sure,
So,
why not?
I mean,
I
obscure.
guarantee you, if you brought that to some event, like a bunch of fans with your information on it,
Yeah.
sure, that would be a big hit.
That might be.
On a hot day, on a summer
Number one
day.
fan.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a good idea. I like that.
I feel like I did something like that one time. I had frisbees one time on a
Frisbees are
hot day,
great, yeah.
and I saw
Yeah.
people like taking the frisbees to fans.
Frisbees are good because people will play with them and keep them. Like I have a whole bunch of frisbees, but I don't know how much I
sure.
look at the name
Yeah.
on it. When the fan's right in front of your
Right.
face,
Yeah.
you kind of have to see what's on it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you do.
Yeah.
You
Dude,
have
I think
to.
we just figured out this big marketing.
I had a
Seriously.
bunch of
Cottage
fans.
industry,
They went
right
out.
there.
Well, we'll have
Amy
to go in
Wolf
with
is
you
asking
guys.
for a
Yeah.
fan.
She wants a fan,
Yeah,
right?
she wants a fan. Could
There
be a
you go.
popular item, man.
Kendra and I will help you. And then basically we did bring some shirts. Like Kendra has, if you want to show that one over there.
Yeah, we just did this, this is stuff we have if anyone's...
The gift shop. We do have a gift shop.
But this
Yeah,
is
you got.
really
I mean,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
You got to have a gift shop. So that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about
I
too.
bet you
Is,
did,
is the
yeah.
Fagley's Diner, because I remember when I was a kid driving by that corner all the time.
Awesome.
And if you remember, before they widened that intersection there, and
Which intersection
Yes.
is that on?
it was at 422, and I don't know the road that cuts across, but it's where the shopping center in Exeter is now.
It's a
Yeah,
Rite Aid.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
a Rite Aid now.
Right.
Okay, so
so
that-
they widened the road
Right.
and everything. And if
Yeah.
you remember, the diner sat right on that corner, and that whole historic diner was covered by this modern building.
Yes.
Yes.
So it wasn't until they
Right.
tore it down that they could get into that core of that historic building, right?
Yes.
Right.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. That was one of the first projects that your museum was involved in, right? Wasn't that kind of one of the first things that they did, or
Well,
Like a community type thing, perhaps.
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think the years now.
It was before me.
I've been there too long.
Yeah.
it's going
So-
back?
I think the restaurant closed in 2003.
Seems like longer than that, but I
Right,
could
yeah.
be wrong. But I remember when it closed down and when they tore it down and pulled the old
Well,
diner.
another
Well, that wasn't that. I don't think. I mean, it was much later than 2003, wasn't it?
Well, another group came in and sort of rescued it. The
Right.
diner. It wasn't
Okay.
us.
Okay. See,
it's
so
called the-
maybe
Yeah.
I'm getting the two things.
Because didn't it go to Didn't it go to Reading?
Yes.
first?
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
sat.
Yeah, it sat
Yeah.
outside because this group had plans for it, and they just didn't pan through, and it needed a new home then. And I know we were one of the places that they approached. I think we were their first choice too, just because we would put it inside, and
Right.
that
Yeah.
was a big deal because I don't think it sat outside very long, maybe 2 years, but
That does
It
a
was
lot.
showing it.
Does a lot of damage.
yeah,
To
Yeah.
its time.
it did. So it ended up coming to us. I think that was in 08 or 09.
That sounds right. Because I came in
Okay.
at 12, and it was like kind of sort of right before that. So that makes
Yeah,
sense if it was like
and I think by the time we finished,
It was right
fixing
before
it
I-
up
yeah.
and stuff. So, now it's inside. It's well taken care of
Yeah.
inside. We did do work on it, but most of the work was done on the exterior because that was damaged from being
Right.
outside. The
But
inside
sitting
is
outside.
mostly original. There's
Yeah.
a few
Right.
things that were changed, but
Right.
most of it is original.
And you can go inside it at the.
Yep.
At the
And
museum?
anytime we're open, it's open. So it is a 1938 diner. And before COVID, we had something called Diner Day, 2 times a year, April and November. You could come in and get 25-cent pie, a slice of pie for 25 cents, and a cup of coffee for 5 cents. It was really popular.
That's a great idea.
It's
hundreds,
awesome.
hundreds of visitors.
Hundreds of visitors. Kendra and I are the waitresses in the diner, so please be nice because we're far from that on our
Are
regular.
you are you on roller skates when you're?
Oh my God, no! I can barely walk as it is. Let alone. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No, I don't
no.
want to spill coffee on anybody. But it's honestly a really great event, and hopefully we'll get back to it. Honestly,
I'm sure you will.
At least by
Right.
next fall.
Yeah.
But it's always open, and we have a gas station too.
Yep.
That sits right next to it, a 1921 Sun Oil station that is restored. You were talking about restore. We did restore that. So it's just an example of roadside architecture that we have in the museum as well, because once people started driving, of course, roadside architecture, restaurants, things like that were popping up, especially after the 30s, because more people were driving.
Yeah.
They needed to stop along the way, especially after the turnpike was completed. So roadside architecture plays a big role in Pennsylvania transportation as well.
Right.
Yeah. Isn't there a Pennsylvania Route 66? I mean, it's not Route 66, but they consider like the Pennsylvania version of Route 66.
Was it 30?
Yeah, there Lincoln Highway.
The Lincoln
would be
Highway,
30,
Route 30.
And it goes all the way across the state?
down like through the southern part.
Of the state. It comes up out of Baltimore and Maryland. It's Route 40 down there.
Right.
Okay.
And then Route 30, I think, in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I mean,
that
I know
makes
I've been
sense.
on 30.
And
What's
there-
that?
I've been on
Oh,
30,
sure.
yeah.
There's a lot of like landmarks along 30.
That's
like
true.
kind of oddball things like the shoe
The
house.
shoe house.
Right.
House that looks like a shoe, and then there
Oh, I
was
love
like
that stuff.
There was
Oh,
like
so
a
There's the
hotel
big
that was shaped
windmill.
like a riverboat or something.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's on 30 too.
Yeah.
There's a big windmill
Yes.
Yeah.
on 30. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of different stuff.
Because
Yeah.
people were driving and that was a popular highway. So, I mean, those things would just naturally pop up in those areas because it was a heavily trafficked road.
And then
Right.
of course you're like, oh, I got to stop at that and look around.
Oh, there's a big shoe.
Yeah.
How do you not stop at a big shoe?
Stopping at the
It's
big
right.
shoe.
Yeah,
It's like that Americana, you know.
Yeah.
It's like
It
that
is, it
slice of Americana.
It
And
is.
we were
Hey,
kind of
I fall for it now. I mean, you make a giant anything. I'm
yeah.
I
What is
mean,
that?
listen, when I take little road trips or like on the weekends take off, like I try to avoid the highways as much as possible
Sure.
because I want to see
Boring.
this stuff.
I do too.
Yeah.
And now, you know, we're getting to the point where some of this stuff is 100 years old. So,
Yeah.
you know, some places it's starting to disappear. So you might as well go see it while it's still there, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And like we were kind of like making fun of baseball a little bit just because like, but the one thing I do like about baseball is like that old timey feel. Like if you're listening to
Oh,
the
yeah,
baseball
absolutely.
call on the radio, like
Yeah.
I'm like picturing myself driving up to the museum one day in the summer. I got my call on the radio, and then I go inside and look at some historic museums. You know, I get this all. I don't know. I'd give you
Like
a
a
good
warm and
feeling.
fuzzy
Yeah,
feeling?
give you a warm and
Yeah.
fuzzy feeling, like some real Americana
I think that's a
Yes.
huge
stuff,
draw
man.
for baseball. It's just that feeling that you get. I think
is.
everybody gets that feeling for some
Yeah,
reason.
you definitely do. I get it more from listening to the call on the radio than
Yeah.
anything else. Like
Yeah.
that just really reminds me of like the old
Summer.
days. Yeah, and
Sure.
summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I mean, you know, there's something about, especially in this day and age, right? Putting yourself in that time period
Yeah.
is so bizarre kind of to us. It's so foreign to us.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's intriguing to some of us, right? I was always intrigued by history for that reason. Picturing myself in the late 1800s,
Yeah.
early 1900s, what it would look like, what you'd be doing.
You have
Yes.
your fan.
Yeah, well,
You have your
yeah,
fan.
thank you,
Right,
Jeff. Yes,
right.
I have the fan. Okay, I have my decanter full of whiskey, and some extra
Tucked in
spark
your-
plugs,
tucked
and
in
you're
your
good.
purse.
You're good to go.
Tucked in
Yeah.
your purse.
Totally fine.
No, I have the same thing. Like I studied American history and political science in college because that's what I was into. And I'm the same way. I like this history. I like trying to put myself in that place and time.
Yes.
And try to experience as much of that as I can. Especially when it comes to like historic landscapes, whether that's related to architecture or just outside. I like going to places that have been restored and give you that feeling of what it may have looked like,
Yes.
at that time.
And you can really immerse yourself in it.
Yeah, right. And that's the same reason, like I just said, I drive on back roads as much as I can. One time we went up to, my girlfriend and I went up to Massachusetts, and then we came back like through New Hampshire. And
Yes.
we drove all back roads all the way down to New
Wow.
York,
That's awesome.
and we found this like along the way in this town called Pixka. We found this little old diner, just like the Fagley's Diner. It was
Right.
like on their main street, this late 30s, early 40s diner. And it was like one of those places, like you just had to stop.
Yeah.
Like when
You're
you saw
drawn to
that,
it.
you just had to stop. Like, even so, fortunately, it was lunchtime, and we went in and did all that stuff. But I think what it is for us as Americans, I think, is we're so tied to these cars. You know what I mean? Like every one of us has a story about some road trip that we went on when we were
True.
younger.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right, driving to the
Yeah.
beach, driving
Yeah.
to the mountains, doing something with your family, and we have
Or just
this,
tinkering with your car, doing weird
Yeah.
stuff. with
Right.
your
about
car.
it.
Yeah, working on your car, everything else. It's such an American concept, an American trait. It's cultural for
Yeah.
us. We're
It is.
so tied to
Yeah.
these cars.
Absolutely.
And- yeah,
once
go
you
ahead.
learn what the car did for so many, for people in general, but also even just women, honestly. Like we have electrics in the museum.
Right.
They were manufactured specifically for women.
Okay.
Originally, a lot of people don't know that electrics are an old thing, but
Right.
they are, and so that helped.
What was the
propel
thinking?
women.
What was
It-
the thinking behind having electric cars for women?
Well,
I'm
so
sure
this
it's some
is-
sexist
that's a
thing,
good
but
question.
I
It's
want
gotta be, right?
I want to hear it. I want to hear it anyway. There's got to be some sexist
I
stuff
mean,
there.
it's funny too because before we get to the women part, we have a couple of old electric trucks,
Yeah.
and they are big.
Oh my God.
They are enormous and they're powerful.
Yeah.
So it's funny. You look at those trucks,
Yeah.
and they're like, and they're huge, and you've got to like go up like a flight of stairs
Literally.
to get to the seat and then they had these nice, beautiful cars.
I
as
mean,
well.
yeah, and what she's saying, like the interiors were plush.
Okay.
There was flower vases in there. I mean, they were just for manufactured for women. The reason was, this is Victorian era, post-Victorian era. So, number one, we were fully in big full skirts.
Right,
Okay.
right.
And frankly, it wasn't ladylike for us to crank start a car. So for your listeners, I'm sure a lot of you know, maybe some of you don't. You're cranking at this time, and it's very difficult to do. People broke their arms crank starting.
Right.
So
Yeah, 'cause
imagine
that spring could
literally,
get back on
and
you.
you get
Yeah.
the throwback of it.
Yeah.
So women, honestly, like Kendra and I, for instance, we couldn't perhaps physically even do it.
Okay.
So there was this need, when wealthy women and certain, women wanted to get out there too and do these things, there was a market for it.
Okay.
And people realized, these women don't want to crank start. Gas is smelly, honestly.
Right.
We're not going to be, we're not going to have the smell of gas on us. You don't have to fan, we're fanning
Come
again.
on.
Yeah.
And so
Literally fanning the
We're
vapors.
literally
Guys will have the
fanning.
fans this time.
So they started manufacturing these electrics that it was easy, and we didn't have to do those things. But they fizzled away because the environmental aspect of it wasn't there. This is the 20s and teens, so people didn't know, and so that wasn't a push like it is today. People care about the environment.
Right.
And gas was cheap.
And gas was cheap,
Right,
yeah.
much
and gas was
cheaper.
cheap, and the batteries are expensive. You had to have a machine to lift the battery. They're huge, heavy, just big, cumbersome things. So it just, people were like, oh, what the heck did I get into? Like, forget
Yeah.
this.
If you look at a lot of those ads from the teens and 20s for electric cars, I mean, you'll see like a lot of them have those high society women with their furs on and the
Right.
Yeah.
hats. And
So that was who they were aiming this. That was
a
their
lot of
market,
them,
right?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like a high society car. And even think about it, 1915, who has the means to charge something that's electric.
Yeah, you'd have to have
you know?
electric
to have
into your
electric
house.
first.
Not every house
Yeah.
even had electric
Yes.
at that
Right.
point.
Many didn't. So
Right. So what's the range on a 1915 electric car? Like we talk about that now, but like how far were they going in
150
these?
feet.
I'd say about
Over to the fan shop. I got you there. Right? Some fans and some shoes.
I'd say about 50 miles.
it's actually pretty impressive.
Okay.
That's
Which
very
then you have
impressive.
to, but then you have to remember too, you know, like, but that also means you're not really going to leave a city, you know, really. Like,
Right.
it's not like a
So it was more for shorter trips and like
shorter
running
trips.
around.
And, you know, if you look at these cars, I mean, they look typical. They have a different shape to them for the most
They
part.
do.
But, I mean, they still have what you would think of as a trunk and a hood, you know. But if you open both ends, they're packed full of batteries.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no
Okay.
cargo
Yeah.
I gotcha.
area.
Yeah,
for you.
absolutely.
So you wouldn't even really be able to take it like on a long trip.
So
'cause you can't fit
it was
anything but
just
yourself in.
really just a status symbol and maybe just for pleasure
A lot
riding.
of cars were.
Right.
Really,
It
until,
really was.
Until Model T, a lot of cars really were status
Just status.
Yeah.
symbol. He really like, I don't know, you know, democratized the car essentially.
Yeah.
Right. The Model T made it affordable for everybody.
Mhm.
And the,
Yeah.
the platform, the chassis that it was on was
Yes.
relatively
Yeah,
easy to
Model-
Yes.
modify.
Model Ts get modified a lot.
Right,
You'll see a
right.
lot
Into
of
pickup
modifications.
trucks and vans and all kinds of other stuff.
Yep. As we talked today, a dog catching vehicle on our
On our Q&A,
earlier today, we
yeah.
talked
Oh,
about
really?
Yeah.
So why
So-
don't you talk about that? You guys are doing some videos, right? You're doing some podcasts and stuff like that. Bring everybody up to speed on what you're doing, and hopefully some of the folks that watch us here on the cast at Glocker will hop over to your ventures.
Yeah. Well,
can
so
start.
weekly, we've been doing on Facebook Live, like, you know, we're doing here tonight. We've been doing Wednesdays at 2 p.m. We answer a question from that someone submitted to us, you know, a Facebook follower, or we've gotten a few emailed to us. And, you know, we pick one a week and we talk about it, you know, for like 10, 15 minutes maybe. And today's question was about modifications you've seen made to vehicles to accommodate animal passengers. So we talked about that today. But
Okay.
we've had in the past, you know, people have asked, how do you choose what gets in the museum? Or,
Yeah.
you know,
What's your favorite vehicle?
yeah,
Like,
what's your
it's
favorite vehicle?
Personal questions more for Kendra
Yep.
and I. Well, we had a Halloween question that was really interesting. So someone
did.
sent in for Halloween. If Freddy Krueger was attacking you in the museum, what would you use? What item in the museum would you use to defend yourself? And her and I are horror fans, and we really enjoyed
So
this.
that allowed you to riff some stuff.
Oh God!
That is a good question.
I encourage all the followers and listeners and viewers right now to
Go back to
and watch
that
that
one.
one.
So where are they going to be able to find that episode?
So-
Like where are you guys broadcasting this stuff?
From Facebook Live.
Okay.
So when you go to our page, just go to videos,
Videos.
and it'll show all of our Facebook Lives there. This is our 11th
Today
this
was
week.
number 11.
Okay.
These are curatorial Q&As. That's
Okay.
what we're doing.
So we plan on doing it till the end of December, and then I'm not really sure what we'll do. We'll talk about it in
Only time
2020.
will tell.
we
huh?
may do more. Yeah.
Yeah, we just need to get out of 2020 first.
We're
But-
finding. I mean, I'm definitely finding that it is a way to reach people who because we're not allowed to get into each other's personal space as much.
Right.
Yep.
It is a way to reach people. And what I've found with the podcasting and the live streaming too is that people are looking for alternate sources of entertainment
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
keeping in touch with people.
Yep.
I mean, that's one of the things on this show. People put their comments in, they ask questions, and they feel like they're part of a conversation
Yeah.
with people who they might not get a chance to interact with in the real
Right.
world because we're all trying to be socially distant and everything.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
think that was, you know, kind of like the spark for us, because we've been talking about doing stuff like this for a while. And you
Right.
know how life is crazy and you run out of time. And it's
Yes.
like, well,
Sure.
no one's missing it because we haven't done it, so we won't do it yet. And
Yeah.
then this all happened, and it's like, okay, how can we... Because, you know, our numbers, our visitor numbers are down, and we understand that. I mean, her and I are cautious people too.
Sure.
Like, you know, we're not doing nearly the amount of stuff we would do in our personal lives like
Yep.
right,
Right.
now. So we were trying to think, okay, what is a way that we can, you know, A, kind of stay on people's minds, you know, B, you know, let people know that we're still here and we're still thinking about stuff and we're still learning about stuff, and what's a way we can kind of bring the museum to you in a safe manner.
Right.
Absolutely.
So we kind of decided to tackle some of these things now.
Yeah.
So-
And we really
And
have a
I
lot of
think
fun doing them.
And I think you're accomplishing that with
I hope so.
with your Q&A for
Thank
sure.
you. Yeah, we hope so too. We really enjoy it. So.
And yes, you guys do have fun.
I was watching one of the videos today too, and it comes through that you guys are enjoying yourself, showing this stuff,
And that
being
you
in
love
the
it.
museum. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
We do
really
love it.
it really comes through when just even talking to you guys. Like you brought all this stuff. It sparks off a lot of conversations. You guys are good at that, and so I can only imagine a trip to the museum is going to be just as vigorous, I guess is the word I'm looking for. It's gonna excite your mind, your imagination, and everything like that. And I
Sure.
can tell you guys are into it. It
Oh,
totally
absolutely.
comes
Yeah,
through.
Thank you. Yeah, that means a lot to us.
Yeah.
Now you guys also were doing some stuff on YouTube. You said too. There was some previous YouTube videos that you had done.
So we had a channel for a number of years, and it was okay, but we wanted to, again, during this time, her and I were on quarantine, right? And we were talking, we talk all the time, and we were talking, let's revamp this channel. Let's
Right.
really do it this time, right?
Yeah.
And so that's where her and I came up with the idea for Bumper to Bumper, which
Okay.
is our YouTube mini-series, a little web series that we do. It's released the third Friday of every month.
Okay.
And really, her and I just, quite frankly, have chosen things that her and I like, that interest us, and some off things that, your regular average Joe museum visitor might not think about, but might think is neat. And we have that on the YouTube channel. We also have one, you mentioned Sam Fiorani earlier. He's our board member. He does the other series on on our channel, which is called Up on Blocks. And they're just two series that try to bring you guys just some new cool information. Again, it's not your typical, I don't know. Again, we talk about Model T, but just, the same things you hear.
Right.
It's more of just, some different things. We talked about bookmobiles. We talked about...
Yeah, sometimes when we research stuff in the museum, we
Yeah.
fall down about 10 rabbit holes per
Yeah.
thing that we research in the museum because it's just, this is really cool. And that's, some of that is in this show that we're doing, like, this is really neat. We just don't have the space in the museum to talk about it, but it's cool, so we're going to tell you about it. And
Right.
I have to get a plug in there because if you're out there and you're listening, Sam's last episode of Up on Blocks, I am so jealous of him and I hate him a little bit. Sorry, Sam, because
You'll understand why.
I
like you
understand
said.
why I almost cried. His last episode that he did was an interview with Nick Mason of Pink Floyd.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
because
really?
he's a big car guy.
Okay.
No way.
Seriously, yeah.
You gotta go to our channel and watch that. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So you guys
Now,
are
how did
getting
he pull
some
him in?
national attention.
You're gonna ask Sam. Sam's got like some
Sam's got
some
magic
connections.
powers over
Yeah, he
there.
does.
Yeah, I mean, I asked him, I said, how the heck did you do that? He's like, I just asked. And I'm
So
like,
that
Sometimes
show-
that's all it takes.
That shows Up
Yeah.
on
Right,
Blocks.
right. Up on Blocks.
Up on
That's on
Blocks.
YouTube. What's
YouTube.
the name of your YouTube channel?
I think if you just go look for search for Boyertown
Museum?
of
I think
Historic
it's
Vehicles,
Boyertown
it'll come
Museum
up.
on there. Maybe it's not historic vehicles, but
Okay.
it's Boyertown Museum of Historic Vehicles. Our image is our Duryea Day plaques. That's like kind of our image, so you'll kind of recognize it. But yeah, we're hoping we get some more subscribers. I think we have about 150 or so. We're hoping to grow that. So.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're going to be adding some new
Yeah.
web series to there. Actually, I just watched the first cut of the next one yesterday, and it looks really cool. So I'm excited.
Who's
about
producing this stuff? Are you guys doing this in house, or have you teamed up with somebody?
I mean, they got first cuts and everything.
Right.
That's pretty
So,
cool.
the
First
two
cut,
that,
yeah.
The two that are already on there are kind of like self-contained.
Her Bumper to Bumper is, I'm just going to be candid, her and I sitting in our library with my husband's iPad propped up on 5 books, and my husband edits the videos for us right now,
Okay.
and it's just, basically that's what we do, and Sam, he has a little system
He
going.
has his system at his house that he's working on, and the new series, we're getting an outside group to help us with that.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
to ensure they look
Right.
Do you want to tell us what the new series is, or you want to keep it? You want to keep it a surprise?
So it's
What's the one with the catchy name? Because you have to mention
So
that.
yeah, it's not all totally finalized yet, but the one. So it's funny.
Wait, should we do the breaking news thing here?
Yeah.
Just in.
Breaking news.
Hot off the press. So actually, the one is kind of similar to what we're doing here tonight. Although I take one piece out of a case, one item out of a case, and we just like talk about that one item. So, and that's going to be called casing the joint.
Ooh.
Casing the joint.
I like
it.
that.
Yeah,
So
keep that.
actually, our first episode, which I haven't seen the cut of yet, but it's going to be about one of our hood ornaments, the Mac Bulldog. So.
Everyone knows
Cool.
Mac.
Oh, everybody knows
Built in
Pennsylvania.
Allentown.
But there's a really
Yeah.
there's a really cool story about the
The
bulldog
dog.
and the guy that made the bulldog.
I'm
It's
interested.
neat.
I am too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
tune
go check
into
that
the
out.
YouTube
That's
channel.
right.
You're
I'm
not
gonna have
getting
to tell
it
my
tonight.
sons about it. Two of my sons are big car guys. My oldest son's into car design and stuff like that, and performance design.
Yeah.
And then my middle son's into fixing them, making them work.
And
He's a
my
mechanic.
son's into like the old cars too, like
Yeah.
the old
Ah.
30s cars.
Ah.
That's his favorite 30s.
30s.
stuff. Yeah.
So we have a 1932 Ford Vicky coupe.
You hear that, Nico?
Beautiful.
He would like that.
Yeah.
You guys, okay, so after this, we won't forget. We're going to email you guys repeatedly until you come into the museum. We will be very annoying until
No,
we get to give you guys a tour.
we'll be in.
We'll come in.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, so we're getting booked. Our shows are getting booked like into January.
Yeah.
Wow, awesome.
And we're going to be taking the show on the road a couple of times, but that's definitely a place
I
that
think
we
she,
should
I think she
try to
means
visit.
just come in general, though.
I know.
Or do you mean in the
I
show?
do that.
oh my God, come at the show.
Yeah. I'm down with that.
Yeah,
We'll do both.
seriously.
I love it. That's
We'll
a great
talk.
atmosphere.
Bother
Yeah.
us then.
We
Just
might
don't
have
bother.
to. We'll have to get some. I don't know. We'll have to walk around. I think.
Yeah, get some ideas of what we can do, where we
Seriously,
can
that'd be
shoot,
cool.
set up.
Yeah.
Maybe set up in the diner.
Yeah.
Like set up in the
Oh,
old diner,
yeah.
like we're hanging out.
Yeah.
in
The
there.
diner is a great filming spot.
That'd be
Yeah.
great.
Kendra and I will serve you a cup of coffee. You can sit in the diner.
Yeah.
It'll be
Sweet.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go up in the carriage factory, the blacksmithing. I mean, there's literally, I'm not just saying this, 100 options.
Yeah, there's
if you
so
guys
much
want to come
stuff.
do something, you could easily do that.
Yeah.
I'm
Love to
surprised
have
that like do you ever get approached by like Hollywood productions or television productions for like stuff or backgrounds? It
Yeah,
seems like
documentaries or anything.
We had
there was that
a
one.
few. We've had a few.
Yeah.
Not too much though.
really.
No, not too much.
It seems like that would be like you guys have a lot of stuff, like you said, and you have a lot of scenes that somebody might, try to hit you
Yeah.
up to get
Oh,
something
yeah.
as a prop, for
Yeah,
their
I mean,
movies or
Sometimes our
whatever.
stuff is almost like too bizarre. Like
Okay.
people, like I'm filming. I need a 55 Bel Air. Well, I don't have.
We don't
Yeah,
have
we
a
don't
55
have that.
I
Bel Air.
actually
Right,
do right
right.
now. I'm on loan, but not really. Not normally. I don't.
Yeah.
So, our stuff is. When she said, our stuff was, I don't know what the word, oddball or rare.
Yeah.
We mean it. We have things that it's the only one left, or it was the only one made.
Okay.
Or, so it's bizarre stuff.
I gotcha.
But it's cool because, right now we think, okay, cars, it's either a Ford or a Chevy,
Yeah.
or
GMC,
a
right.
Yeah.
or a Chrysler or something like that. And there were over 2,000 car companies in this country,
Mm-hmm.
and we've lost so many of them, or they've been gobbled up by,
Yeah.
The big
Yeah,
companies.
right.
or whatever.
Right.
So, we have so many car companies, and a lot of them weren't around for a long time, but that's part of like the history of that time period. We often tell visitors it was a really easy industry to get into. It was really difficult to stay in it and be successful.
Gotcha.
Which is really a feather in the cap for Boyertown, honestly,
Yes,
because
it is.
the Boyertown Body Works transitioned successfully from carriages
Yep.
to truck bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And they lasted from, if you want to go the whole history, 1872 to 1990. That's really
I mean, that's
Yeah,
literally
that's good.
astounding.
amazing
Yeah.
that they were
Right.
able to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't know they went into the 90s. That's interesting.
1990
yeah.
closed.
Yep.
It's crazy.
All right.
So here we go. We talked a lot.
We did.
Uh-oh.
Whoops.
We're,
And no,
how,
don't-
how are we on time?
We're-
Is it 8:30?
listen, if we go over, we go over, man.
just happens,
Somebody,
right?
you know,
Yeah.
it
No
just
one's cutting
happens.
the clock on us.
No.
Except for the camera. The camera might put the cut the
Camera might, but I think we were pretty good. But You guys have the ask a question, the Q&A. Now, is that where you got your idea from?
Maybe
Or
maybe
you
and
might have
I will give them
you might
credit
have
because
stolen something from them.
I steal from every.
Intellectual property.
Hey, listen.
Okay, we expect our royalty check next week.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yes, we'll give you 100% of what we're making.
Yes.
That's what I tell our volunteers that you got 100% raise today.
So we have a new segment of the show.
Which might sound familiar to you guys.
It's Jeff's idea. We had a big meeting yesterday, and Jeff brought this idea to the table at our planning meeting for the cast at Glocker, and social media marketing and web-based marketing. So lay it on us, Jeff.
So it is Ask the Realtor.
Right?
See, you have two realtors. Thank you. We have two realtors here.
Mm-hmm.
Why shouldn't the people that are watching ask a question?
Ask us a question.
So
Put us
you
to
ask
the
a
test.
question. We put a
The post is going to go up
Right.
on Tuesdays. So Jen Seville, who's handling a lot of our social media and web stuff, is going to post up a post on
Yeah.
Facebook at Glocker Realty Insurance on Tuesdays and then again on Wednesday afternoon. So you can put your question into the comment section there. If you don't want the other kids in class to know that you're asking questions, you can message us on the side. But you should put your questions into the comments.
Yeah, put it in
We're
the
going to
comments.
monitor those things, and we'll actually get one of the realtors or a few of the realtors that work in the office to answer those questions.
Yes.
And
But so just so people know, the person that's actually you're going to get your question answered no matter what.
right.
And the person that's answering that is the broker of Glocker Realty. So
Right.
you're getting a good quality answer.
Right.
But then it comes to the cast of
us.
Glocker, and we get to choose one of those questions, the one that we think is most pertinent or is a good question or whatever. Whatever jumps out at us for
Jumps
some
out
reason.
at us.
And we will answer that in a less in a fully professional in a fully professional way as well.
Yes.
But we'll answer it in our own way, and that person then will win a $10 Wawa gift card. Which, hey, who doesn't want that,
Awesome.
right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants that.
Yeah, for just
Absolutely.
asking a question. I mean,
Right.
That's
Right.
awesome. That's a great incentive.
right. So
This is the first time. This is the
first
brand
week.
new unveiling.
and we got
Kendra
some.
and I are honored.
We are.
we got. Since I might have stolen it from you, it's only.
It's only fitting that you would be here to see your intellectual
Your idea
property
brought-
being stolen right in front of your eyes. You might need to fan your anger.
So this week we got some great questions already.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I heard it before the show.
Yep.
They were good. They are good questions.
Yep, and I ran through them with Matt before the show, and we decided on one. Although they're great, they all were great questions. We're only answering one, but you can put the same question in next week, and we
Yeah.
might choose it next week.
Right.
Because I would
you
like
never
to
know.
answer them all, but we don't have enough
Well,
time.
they are all going to get answered. in
Yes,
one
they
way,
already
shape, or
are
form.
answered.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Our broker answers them right away,
All right. Cool.
but live, and they could still win the
yeah.
Wawa gift
Right.
card.
Right. Okay.
So this week, the question comes from Leanne Pritchard. And her question is it safe for buyers to waive inspections? And I thought that this was a great question because of the market right now. It's a crazy market.
it's very brisk.
It's very brisk. I mean, if you're a buyer in this market, if you're a seller, you're skipping for joy.
Yeah,
Okay.
especially if you're
Okay.
selling something and you don't have to do a buy on the other side.
Right.
Like if you're downsizing to your mountain cabin or moving to the retirement community, or you have some property that you've been holding on to for a while, and you there's no better time to sell it right now.
Yeah.
Any type of property, really. Any type.
Well,
It's,
Kendra and I are
it's
going to
insane.
go sell all the 10 properties that we own.
Yeah.
Leave here today.
Yeah, and become moguls.
So the buyers on the buyer's end, things aren't as easy because there's
No.
a lot of competition. Each each listing seems to get multiple offers.
I had a client lose out after putting a over $20,000 over asking price,
I
almost
had the same
$20,000
story. Yep.
over asking
I had
price.
the same story.
Still didn't get
Yep.
it. Still didn't get it.
Yep.
Oh my God.
I mean, Matt and I both have lots of good ideas to try to get you that house, but in the end,
You got to be aggressive. No, that's the only
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
to say it. Like this in this market, if you really need to buy a house or want to buy a house, you got to be aggressive.
right.
That's the only thing that's going to work.
So, so bringing us back to that question, is it safe to waive inspections? Absolutely, 100% not, because you have to know what you're buying. You're putting out hundreds of thousands of dollars
Yeah.
on something that you're going to most likely own for a long time.
Right.
And the last thing you need is to buy something that's just going to give you a headache and
Right.
and drain your wallet and stuff
And
like that.
sometimes there are things that go on in houses that you might not be able to deal with or might not want to deal with. So, for instance, I was helping one of my buyer clients look at a house in Pottstown, and during the course of the home inspection, we found a foundation crack, and one part of the house was actually sinking into the ground.
Yeah.
And it was
Oh,
causing a
God.
crack that actually went up through the wall, through the foundation, up into the chimney. And once you really started looking at it, you could see where it was starting to shift. If it shifted any further, the chimney could fall down.
Kerplunk, kerplooey.
God.
So, that was a $20,000 repair that my buyer was like, I'm not interested in trying
Yeah,
to.
and imagine if that was just thrown on your lap.
Yeah.
Or worse, something happened where there was
After
a
you
collapse
moved
or
in.
Yeah, how
something.
about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea for your average buyer, I
It
would
isn't.
say. The only time I would even remotely recommend somebody doing that is if they themselves had some kind of experience in contracting. So if they were a builder, a carpenter, an electrician, a plumber, and had some knowledge, skill, and ability in the building trades and could go in themselves
Right. And
make
actually
sure
get a good look.
get a good look
Yeah.
at it. But even
And most
then,
people, when they're looking at the house, even those people aren't looking at that closely,
No.
as closely as if you're doing an inspection, because you can do an inspection yourself. I
Right.
mean, but you really need a good look at a house, and a showing, even an hour-long showing, you're not going to get that good look.
no.
But just to confuse things more, but to be absolutely to give
The simple answer is no, it's
the
not
simple
safe.
answer is no.
For
it's
your
not safe.
average buyer, it is not safe.
But
to
we
do.
want to give you all the information that we have. And
Right.
the unfortunate thing is that that's happening a lot.
Yeah,
So,
people are deciding
so
to waive
They're
inspections.
waiving inspections as one of the things that help them get the house, because a seller, of course, they love that you're not going to do any inspections.
Right.
So is it going to help you get the house? Yes, but is it going to give you problems in the future?
It could.
Possibly. So you're really rolling the dice there.
Okay, explain something to me. This is me. I have to ask a question to little renter over here.
Okay.
Why would you waive an inspection? Because it costs money?
No, the reason why people are waiving inspections right now is to get the seller to choose their offer.
Oh, okay.
It
okay,
makes
okay,
the
okay.
offer
Okay.
look more
Yeah, because-
appealing.
Okay.
Because if there's no inspections, then there's no more negotiating.
Okay.
Because once you do inspections, that becomes another negotiating part of the process, and where you can say, "Hey, I need these repairs done," or in that case, "Hey, there's a $20,000 item. We've got to figure out some
killed
way to
the
work
deal.
this out."
She
in order.
pulled out of the
Yeah, I
deal.
bet she did. Yeah.
So
Okay,
yeah,
I get it.
And then the other thing too is sometimes instead of making repairs, sellers offer credits. So then the sale price
Okay.
comes down.
Okay.
So
Oh, wow.
what buyers are doing, like Jeff's saying, is trying to make their offer look better to a prospective.
Oh, my
Yeah.
Now there are some.
Lord.
At the very least, you should always get the home inspection. There are other inspections that you can do. There's a whole list of them.
Oh, okay.
But
the very least,
at
do
the
a home
very
inspection,
least, you want to get a basic home inspection
Yeah.
done.
So that was a great question from Leanne, and I thought that was really a good question for
It's
the
timely.
market right
Yeah,
now.
right now.
Yeah, because
I'm
in other
seeing it-
times of the market, I mean, of course you wouldn't waive an inspection. Why would you do that?
Right.
That's what
You
my
know?
mind was. I was thinking, why the heck would you ever
Yeah,
do
why
that?
would you do
but
it? Right. And there's
Wow.
some things like radon and water service, stuff like that. If you want to do those inspections to make sure that the house is safe, you
Yeah.
might, if the house has on a well, you might want to test the water to make sure that it's drinkable, that
Oh
it's
my God.
usable.
yeah.
So that becomes a negotiating point, like Jeff's saying.
Right.
wow.
It's tough, man. Fortunately, or depending on how you look at it, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of buyer clients right now.
Yeah.
I've been lucky enough to get enough listings that my business is mostly revolved around listings
So
right
I have
now.
a lot of buyer clients right now, and I'm not saying unfortunately. It's just I feel bad for
It's
them
hard.
when you have to make that
It-
call saying that you did not get the
Didn't
house.
get it.
Yeah, that's a shame.
And but luckily I've had clients that we've gotten the house as
Yeah.
well. But
And I'm
it's just
seeing
so
it-
tough for them right now.
It is, and I'm seeing it on the sell side too. Because for instance, I was selling a house down in on York Street in Pottstown. One of the offers came in $36,000 over asking price. $36,000 over asking price.
Yeah, I know.
With
I need a
with
fan.
yeah.
yeah, seriously.
with a certain percentage
Wow.
with a certain percentage of non-refundable deposit. So
And
these
that's-
people were willing to put a non-refundable deposit down on the
Oh my
house
goodness.
just to lock it up.
Yeah.
It's if you want to sell, please
Do
call
it.
us.
Could give us a call. Yeah.
we can get
God.
we can get
I'll
it done, and we can get you some good money for your
Absolutely.
place.
I am so glad I moved like
When
last
you
year.
did, yeah.
Now, I will say this. Here's the other kind of buyer that I have that does waive inspections.
Yes.
The folks that I do the rehab work with.
Yeah.
So I work with several different companies that do residential rehabilitation. 9 times out of 10, those folks are waiving inspections.
Sure.
Because they know they're going into that place, and whatever they
Gutting it.
find, they're gonna
They
gut.
know there's problems.
They know
Yeah.
there's
And-
problems.
And they do also. They've done it so much they can walk through it and see what potential problems
Problems
are,
are,
going to be
right off the
pretty
bat.
quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So investors, again, I don't have any investors that actually don't waive the inspection. They always waive the
Oh,
inspection.
I've had
Yeah.
investors just put offers in on properties without even seeing them. Like
Yeah.
they'll just be like, that one's in the right
That I've
neighborhood at the
never had
right
yet.
price,
Yeah.
and we're just going to take it, and whatever we find, we'll deal with because we
Right.
know on the back end of it, we'll be able to sell the property, fix it, sell it, and
Right.
make our money back. But for the average buyer, no way.
And plus, they're rolling dice that if they lose, they can make it up in the next one.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're
Where
doing multiple
if
projects.
If a personal home, someone's buying their personal home,
No.
they're not going to make
They're
it
not.
up on their next one.
Oh my gosh.
There's no,
There's no,
No.
next one
no
made.
makeup.
Yeah.
Just, you're in it.
Yeah.
You're in it.
Yeah.
So that was a great question. And
was
thank
that
you-
again?
That was Leanne Pritchard.
All right.
Yeah, and thank you all for all the questions. They were great questions, and thank you for coming up with my idea.
Oh my god. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So she's going to win herself a $10 gift card.
She will, and I
Awesome.
will. Someone will take care of that.
We'll take care of it.
Yeah.
One way or the other. I
It will be done.
I
It
just
will
had
be
a
done.
closing earlier this week,
There
so
you go.
I guess I got a little bit of money. And then the other thing too is we have the Christmas tree contest going on right now.
Right.
So if you go on to Glocker Realty and Insurance, you'll see a post up there. You got to post up a picture of your Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Right?
So they already did it. So the
They did
people have
that?
already posted their pictures.
Okay.
For the Christmas tree. And
Now they're
there's
in the-
So there's 14 pictures of Christmas trees, and just go through and
Oh,
like the
cool.
one.
Pick the one that you want.
or you can pick several.
Oh,
Like
okay.
several.
Oh, okay.
There's no limit to it, and the person who gets the most votes by the 13th, I believe it is.
I want
the
to say
13th.
that sounds right.
That sounds right. The 13th, then that person wins a $50 gift card.
Oh, awesome. Wow.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
again, just for posting the picture.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can't go wrong. Yeah. That's easy money.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello.
Easy money is good money.
Better not be any fake trees on there. Let me just tell you one thing.
I don't
On
think so.
Facebook,
I
and
looked
all
at
I'm
them.
seeing is fake trees. Okay, you know what? If you're gonna submit to a tree contest, I haven't seen any of these trees, by the way. They get a fake tree. Go out and get your husband to cut down a tree. All these people our age, and it's all fake trees. I'm like, what are you doing?
You know what though?
Who the hell has a fake
Listen,
tree anymore?
this is real deal though. This is real. this year the Christmas tree places are selling out of Christmas trees.
Yeah, I believe it.
I-
I believe that.
There's two places that I either have done business with the owners or I'm involved in them with some way, shape, or form through the community or business. High's Tree Farm, they are out. They had to shut down.
I know why. I can give you an
And,
answer
and,
why.
then, and then Skitco. Kathy Skitco is a friend of mine from the community. Her family owns a tree farm. They're sold out.
Oh
Why,
my
Jeff?
God.
Do you want to know why?
Yeah, I want to know why.
Because people are looking for things to do with
Yeah.
their family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And instead of not having enough time,
Yeah.
Right. They don't have enough stuff.
they
to
don't
do.
have enough stuff to do.
Yeah, how about it?
So
Well, that's
let's
what
go
my
out
thought
and
was.
do a family trip to cut down a Christmas tree.
They better be.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, I see. All my
So
friends on
this
Facebook, but you're 30 years old. Why do you have a freaking fake tree? That's what I want to say. That is just lazy.
love
We've got a critic.
No,
I love it.
that's how you
Controversy.
really feel.
Seriously, I love that the spirit of going and cutting down a tree. Sorry, I mean, come on.
I
Like, what
agree
the
with
heck?
you. There's nothing like a real tree, and I
I
would
used to-
never
I used to
ever
get
put a
into
fake
that
tree in
when
my
I was
house
a
except
kid.
for the one that
Thank
I
you.
have.
I used to like.
It's our second tree, and it's white, so it's
Ooh!
obviously not
I
really.
mean,
Two
that's
trees.
neat, though, too. Yeah.
You're all right with that? As long
Fine.
as one is good,
Yeah.
You
one
have
is
one
live.
real, then you can go fake the other one.
All
right.
right. You heard it here.
You're acceptable. You're
She was
acceptable.
about ready to jump over the
I
table.
have a fake tree. I have a fake tree, and actually,
Oh man!
and
Why
I'm
do you
giving
even
it.
say
I'm-
anything.
listen,
Matt?
not only do I have a fake tree,
It's
I'm
gonna get
giving
worse.
it to my mom and dad this year. I don't even think I'm gonna have a tree.
No.
Yeah.
And that's well, you know what?
I'm a heathen.
But I think he's allowed this, and the reason why I say is because I've known Matt for a long time now, and growing up, his mom would put up the. When would she put up the Christmas?
My
tree?
dad puts the Christmas tree
Okay.
up like sometime between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
But when does your mom allow it to come down?
Well, so this is kind of like I'm embarrassed by this actually. The Christmas tree has stayed up until Easter.
Yes.
We've had Easter trees.
It had grown
We had-
new.
One did
greenery
start
on
to
it.
sprout. Yes, it
Yeah.
was there so long it started to sprout.
That's awesome.
The other ones are like become fire hazards. My
They're
friend,
brown now.
my best friend has a degree in forestry. Right, he was a professional wildland firefighter for the U.S. Forest Service.
Ooh, that's awesome.
And he comes over to my house and he's like, dude, one spark and you're that tree. He's like, that is such a fire hazard.
It's like Christmas vacation.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
whoa.
Like,
We've had Mother's Day trees.
you know what?
The joke
fun.
in my house is that we'd have a 4th of July tree.
Oh,
Now
man.
it's never stayed up that long. It's always come down.
Easter's
But
been
Easter,
the longest.
I remember hiding Easter eggs in the Christmas tree. That's all true.
Oh,
That is
man.
all true.
That's great.
So like,
I witnessed it. I know
I'm
it's
a
true.
little scarred, maybe. Maybe that's why I don't share the same enthusiasm.
You have nightmares about you wake up in sweats. You need the fan.
Kendra and I shall loan you the fan for the
well,
Christmas
And
season.
like
Yeah.
Jeff's saying, anybody that's known my family for any length of time knows that
Knows
this
this,
is a
yeah.
thing, and
Yeah.
like it's, yeah, it's all true,
Now that I
all
got that
true.
off my chest about the fake trees.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
So this year, and my parents have an old house, so they have 10-foot ceilings. The living room's big. Their living room is easily as big as this conference room, and they get these enormous trees that just stay up forever.
I'm sure they're gorgeous. God, that's Easter's okay.
No, they-
fine. I mean,
No, they're great. They're
That's
great. They
awesome.
have a lot of really nice ornaments and lights and everything else. It's great.
Matt,
So-
before I get into what's going down,
What's
in
going
Boyertown,
down in Boyertown?
I see there's some shout outs here.
Yeah, I
Can you,
saw.
can you express them?
Yeah, so Sam Fiorini is saying, "Love you, Kendra." He's sending his love. My mom's saying hello.
That's because I said I hated him for interviewing Nick Mason without me.
You're picking up some folks from Pottstown. Trinita Lindsay was watching before she had to go to her borough council meeting. She's one of the borough councilors in Pottstown.
Oh.
thank you for watching.
Who else do you see?
I know there was a shout out for Autumn too.
There was, I think there was earlier on.
Got it.
Jade Jackson Goffis was saying
Oh, that's my sister-in-law.
hello.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
she
you
was
go.
shouting out to Autumn.
She gets real
earlier.
trees. Just saying.
There's also some people watching on YouTube, so I was thanking the
Oh,
folks
cool.
for checking us out on YouTube. Remember to subscribe on YouTube, and remember
Push
to
the little bell.
subscribe to Autumn and Kendra's shows
Yes.
on YouTube. That helps us out.
Obviously, lots of fun.
And my girlfriend is saying that I need to cut down a tree and bring it home. It's not.
Oh, Matt's getting a tree.
I love
Matt's
her.
getting a real one.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
How are we doing for time? I mean, are we?
We're
yet?
over, but you might as well do the events because
That's
that was
the-
the perfect segue for why the trees are running out because everybody's looking for something
Yeah.
to do.
It's true.
And after you put your Christmas tree up, after you take Kendra with you, because apparently she's a pro,
Yep.
she's going to walk you through this whole thing.
Yeah, if you never
right?
did it before and you needed a little.
I mean, I
some
don't cut them
pointers.
down.
She probably has. Oh,
I
no,
just
you don't.
stand there and demand my husband do it. I mean, I just watch my husband do it.
Oh, okay.
But I stand there.
You probably drive an electric car too.
I supervise.
As long as the shoes look good,
That's right.
right? So
Okay,
hit us
so-
with some events, man.
So
What's
if-
going down in
if
Boyertown?
you're looking for
We're having a good
events
time
to-
tonight.
We are. So if you're looking for events to do around town or around the area, just go onto my blog, What's Going Down in Boyertown, found at jeffknowsboyertown.com. Easy to remember, I think. Yeah, a weekly blog gives you ideas of where to go out and find some holiday fun for right now.
Right.
And there's also all kinds of music and arts. Everything that's happening is on that blog. One stop shop. So this week, I'm highlighting lights. It's all about lights, right?
Oh, okay.
There's
Yeah,
lots of
Christmas
lights at
lights.
Christmas. And I'm going to do a quick shout out to Hanukkah is starting on Thursday, which is the festival of lights,
Hanukkah.
right?
Nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Thursday starts Hanukkah. So it's all about the lights this week. Zuber Realty is having their holiday light tour
Okay.
where you there's 21 decorated houses in the area, and you go to Zuber, you get what do you call it? You get like a
map.
slip
A map or
and a
something?
map.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And you go on your own time. It's happening. I think you can go between 5 and 9 any
Okay.
day.
Yeah.
whole
Oh,
month.
neat.
Okay.
And you pick out your favorite, and you can win a gift card as well, $50
right.
gift card.
So you can do the
Ooh.
Glocker Christmas tree contest and then do the Zuber light
You
contest.
could be 100
You could
bucks
get $100
heavy.
bucks
Oh,
Yep.
woo.
from your local real estate company.
That's right.
That's great. Come spend in the museum gift shop.
I saw a house
Good
with
plug.
a sign.
Yeah.
Saw a house with a sign and a number. I was wondering what that was.
Ah.
Oh,
There you go.
My drive-in. I see one every day.
Oh, neat.
So that's a fun thing to do, and you're social distancing because it's just your family or
right.
yourself in the car,
Right.
and
That's
you just drive
awesome.
through. No stopping at the places. No knocking on their door and seeing their insides. It's only an exterior light show, people. Okay.
Can I use your bathroom?
I'm sure halfway through 21 houses, I will definitely need to use
Is that
the
how
bathroom.
many there are? There are 21 of them.
21 houses. Yeah.
All
my
through this
goodness.
area, I guess, right?
All in the area. Yep. All in the
That
Boyertown
is
School
neat.
District, I believe.
My friend Donna from high school, Donna Dobbs, her and her husband put up a bunch. They have a whole display that they put out for Christmas
Nice.
on their house. They
I
live
like
over
it.
on
Me
Prospect
too. That's a
Street.
lot of work too, though.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Tons of stuff.
I mean, I get in the car every year with my family, and we
You
definitely-
drive around?
Oh yeah, sure.
How about the people that
Hot
have the,
cocoa in the hand?
really?
Yeah, we
you
do
go
the whole
all
thing.
out for this stuff.
I love it.
I feel like such a slacker because
Come on!
I don't do any of this holiday stuff, man. I basically show up and eat.
that's your MO, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty much.
I'm right
I mean,
there
I don't
with
even-
you.
yeah,
I'm
Kendra's
not
like that
good at it
too.
either. It's
No?
okay. No,
Yeah.
no.
I mean,
Kendra's not a huge Christmas.
I don't do the Santa Claus thing. I don't.
No.
Oh, pff, no.
People ask me
Santa
what I want
Claus
for Christmas
freaks me out
sometime, and I'm
a
like,
little.
I
No,
don't
we're not
even
doing
know. Like, I don't even know what to tell them. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I think.
some
Well, part of it is from my former career, right? So I worked in law enforcement for 15 years. So there was plenty of Christmases and Thanksgivings and
Right on.
holidays where I
Yeah.
was working. So you just kind of,
It's
you
another
kind of
day.
get out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You put all that stuff aside because, well, this Christmas I got to work midnight shift or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe that's how I just kind of lost it.
Right.
Man. But I guess I should do some of that stuff. Now I feel like my kids are teenagers. Like maybe they don't even want to do that stuff anymore.
Yeah, but that's the joy of the holiday season, forcing your children to do things that they
Forcing
don't
your-
want to do,
yeah.
what
Forcing
you
your-
want to do. Hello?
Forcing your teenage sons.
Yes.
It's like hiding
Absolutely.
eggs in
Yeah.
the Christmas tree.
Come on. Yeah.
Yeah, you should do. You
So
should
you're
get
gonna
on
do
it.
the lights.
Yep. So we also have a carnival of lights going on in Gilbertsville at the Gilbertsville Area Community Ambulance Depot, 91 Jackson Road, where you can walk through, and it's a big light display, 200,000 lights.
What?
Oh, neat.
200,000.
And you
Louise.
keep your social distance. It looks pretty wide open.
Yeah.
I think you can keep distance.
Where
from
was
people,
this
wear
again?
masks if
Where's
you're-
that? Gilbertsville?
Yep.
Is that what you said?
At
Gilbertsville
the-
Fire?
at the
Wow.
Gilbertsville Area Community Ambulance. I think it's
Okay.
right by Zerns.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
Jackson.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so they have this big light display that you can walk through, and there's also they also have some rides set up, some carnival rides, which
Yeah.
is Carnival of Lights. So they have like a Ferris wheel there. They have the swings, and they have a big choo-choo train that you can ride on.
Okay.
I think like all human sizes can ride on it.
Huh.
Yeah.
You heading over there?
What, right after this? You want to go, Matt? We'll get in the Christmas spirit. Time to end this podcast. I'm kidding. Sorry.
So,
That's all right, man.
and there's the carnival food. There's games. There's a carnival set up too.
Right.
Is that
okay.
a date? Did you say a date for that, or is it just happening like?
So that is happening all month long.
Oh, neat.
So,
Wow. That's cool.
Wednesday nights through Saturday nights.
Gotcha.
Wednesday through Saturday, 6
Cool.
to 9, 6 to 10, something like that. And yeah, so it's a good thing to stop by and check out.
Yeah.
And it also, all the proceeds benefit the Gilbertsville Area Community Ambulance. So,
Sweet.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
awesome.
sure they can use that.
So it's a fundraiser.
There's also another,
Win-win.
I guess, fundraiser type thing. It's a winter giving festival. Now this is happening at the Old House Arboretum at 1794 Gilbertsville Road in Pottstown. They do lots of great things there.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is they're doing festive food drive.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So what you do is you drop off. Your admission is just to drop off some kind of food, non-perishable food item,
Right.
and then you can take a driving tour through the tunnel of lights, and the kids can pop out the window, like roll down the windows and play games where they can win prizes while you're
While
cruising
driving through.
Yeah, it sounds like.
At Old House.
Yeah,
Huh.
sounds like.
I
Something.
wonder how they're setting that up. I've been there. Have you
Yeah.
ever been to Old House?
It's a neat place.
It is a super neat place. There is kind of like a drive that goes back. I
That's
wonder if
probably
that's
what
where
it
they're
is,
doing
then.
it. I think
Yeah.
just past that old house. You know where the old house is, where their headquarters kind of are. There's like an old driveway or old road that goes past that. I wonder if that's where they're doing that. That's
Yeah, I mean,
interesting.
besides the tunnel of lights, what's really intriguing me is these
The
games that
games.
you can play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
My kids.
I wonder
think
if they'll
dig
have
that.
traffic all backed up like Adam did at a Halloween.
Car wash.
Well, the good thing is they're doing it from 6 to 7:30, from the 11th until the 18th.
Okay.
So it's
It's
not
a-
just 1 or 2 days.
I gotcha.
So hopefully it's spread out
It
a little
spreads
bit.
it
And
out.
They say it takes about 10-15 minutes to go
To drive through it.
Yeah.
Their walking trails are pretty nice over there. I've been
Yeah.
over
Yeah, they
there
are.
to walk, and you can go down the hill there. There's a couple of ponds, and I like it because a lot of the trees are marked and identified. So if you're working on your plant identification and tree
Yeah,
identification,
there's like activities
they
that
have
you
them
walk
labeled.
through, too,
Yeah,
right?
there's a little activity area for kids, and they
Yeah.
have different stuff going on throughout the
No,
year.
they have a lot of great stuff going on, and I post things about what they're doing
About Old House.
often.
Yeah.
'Cause they're always doing something. So, yeah. So that's at 1794 Gilbertsville Road in Pottstown, and that benefits the Chester County Food Bank.
Okay.
So another great thing to do, and then you're actually giving to people in need at
Right.
the same time. So
Win,
great fun thing to
win.
do. The only other thing I have is, there's plenty more on the website.
Yeah,
There's
go to
plenty
the
more on the
website.
blog. That's just a couple things. I'm just highlighting the lights this week. But I have a whole list of events happening each
Okay.
week.
Yep.
So I'm just on this show. I just
Highlight.
highlight you. Yeah. So also I like to mention what the State Theater is doing because I love that theater and they got a lot of stuff going on. And this week, two of my favorites are showing. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which is probably one of my top movies.
Me too.
Definitely my top comedy movie.
Save the neck for me, Clark.
Yeah, right.
That's one of my favorite lines. Sorry.
And then to follow it up might be
No, that's
might
that
be my
there Clark's
I mean,
an
it's probably my
RV.
second. Wait, what did you say?
That there Clark's an RV.
I wouldn't be more surprised if I woke up with my head sewn to the carpet. Sorry.
And the grandpa lights up that
God,
cigar,
just-
blows
I
up the whole house.
Sing the Star Spangled Banner at the end.
It's just nonstop.
It really is. It really
It's
is.
so funny.
It is.
I remember falling out that one time where he puts that chemical or whatever that he was working on the bottom of the sled.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
he shoots down the sled and like launches himself and down his. Did you snort?
That's a good thing.
That, you know it's real then. You know it's not. There's no faking when the smoke comes out.
So hold on. I got so carried away.
You almost snorted.
No. I forgot where that was going on. Where are they doing some Christmas story stuff? Who's doing that?
What are we talking about?
Pass out for a minute.
The whole thing's
See, my wife snorts, so it's not. I don't even notice it.
Yeah, it's true. It's all natural.
But Matt likes it.
it's character. It's character.
Anita, did you hear that? It's character.
Where was this happening?
This is at the State Theater.
Oh, that's
State Theater.
That's right.
Yeah, why would it not be?
It's a movie.
Oh my,
So
my
Friday-
face hurts, dude.
I know.
Before Matt passes out again. It's happening Friday, Saturday, Sunday. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and followed up one of my other favorites, A Christmas Story.
Yes.
Is starting
that's
on
another
Monday.
With Ralphie.
Yep, starts
You'll
on
shoot
Monday.
your eye out, kid.
Ho ho ho.
Oh my God.
And we're working on doing a show
We are gonna
with
do a
State
show,
Theater.
Oh,
I think we're
cool.
trying to
Don't
get
we have a
it
date nailed down?
No, Jen is still working on a date, and we're going to try to do an on-site
Yeah.
at State Theater.
So that will happen right before one of their showtimes, because it will be the showtime is at 7. Mm-hmm. And we'll be doing it 6 to 7. So
I hope. Yeah,
it'll
that would
fun.
be really
We
cool
have an
if we could
audience.
do. Yeah, if we could do a little live show ahead of one of their shows. That'll be cool.
Yeah,
Jen's
that'd be
working
great.
on that. Jen helps us book the shows and makes contact with the folks. That's who you were
Jen is
communicating with
lovely.
prior to
She
the
is,
show.
she is
Thank you,
lovely,
Jen.
and she's working hard,
It's
and for
sup-
no pay again.
It's super easy.
Well, she gets
It's-
paid.
She
Call
gets
her out
paid.
Right now.
Yeah, she
Not
does get
getting
paid.
for that.
She's gonna get paid from us.
No. Christmas is coming, though. Oh, man. So,
wait.
if you want to get on the show, if you have a business or a nonprofit organization or you're part of a church, we've had the Salvation Army come in, and you want to come in and talk about your business, just reach out to us here at Glocker Realty. We're easy to find. We're at the corner of 73 and 100. Our website is glocker.com. You can email us at jen@glocker.com.
Yeah.
And Jen will get it set up
Get it all
so that
set
you
up
can
for
get
you.
on the show.
Yep.
And we're going to keep working on our technology.
We're
fine.
we're discussing with somebody that maybe can come in sometimes and help us out a little bit.
Yeah, a little technical advice
Yeah.
to keep the show running smooth.
Great.
Well,
Listen.
we're in awe of of the technology. So
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
are.
we are.
This is extremely
I'm glad we
advanced.
could help you out. This has been a really fun show.
Like put a laptop or an iPhone in here. There you go.
And listen, I'm
ready.
just going to be perfectly honest because this is just that kind of day. I was really having a crappy day. I was like just really kind of
He
down
said
in
that
the
to me
dumps.
before he came. Before
And then
you came into
we
that.
were having problems with technology
Oh,
and
no,
software.
Yeah, that wasn't helping.
No, and then now we guys get you talking and had a great show. I
Yeah.
feel like it's made my day better.
Matt's
honest
in the
to God.
Christmas spirit. He won't
Maybe,
admit it, but that's
maybe
the
if we
truth.
keep talking long enough, yes, I would get into Christmas. But I did want to say that it's been a good show.
It's been a
This
fun
is-
show.
It's
Lots
been a
of fun.
super fun show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a great time. Thank you
Yes.
guys. Seriously, we do want to thank you
Thank you
guys
for
for having
having
us
us.
on.
I'm glad you guys could come in. That's-
Yeah,
Yeah, this is
absolutely. Go check these ladies out
and
at
Autumn.
the Boyertown Museum of Historic Vehicles. They're doing some neat stuff on Facebook. They're doing some neat stuff on YouTube. Check them out. Stop by. $10 to get in.
Yeah.
Cheap,
Cheap.
inexpensive.
Inexpensive day, and you'll learn a lot of history about the area, about vehicles, industry, the whole 9 yards. Go check them out. Boyertown Museum of Historic Vehicles. Jeff Frederick.
Yes. You can find me at any social media, or not most social media
Most.
spots. It's Jeff at Glocker. That's it. That's just plug that in. Google it.
You'll find
me.
them.
Yep.
I'm Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate. If you search that, you will find a whole bunch of stuff comes up. You'll also probably find episodes of my other podcast, Porchcast Pottstown.
Porchcast Pottstown.
That's also on Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate on Facebook and Porchcast Pottstown on YouTube. Check that out. I'm looking forward to answering more questions, so don't forget to
Yes.
submit your questions on Tuesday and Wednesday when you see the Ask the Realtor post go up. Ask us the question, and just like Miss Pritchett,
Right.
you could win a $10 gift certificate.
Yep. If nothing less, you get your question
You
answered.
get your
Right.
answer
Yeah.
by
Right.
professionals,
You learn something.
Right.
local real estate experts.
That's right.
That's us.
Glocker Realty.
This has been the episode. This has been the cast at Glocker. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for making my day a little bit better. See you next Wednesday
6
at
o'clock.
6 o'clock.